It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Morton Loop in Adaraka, Accra. My name is Wilma Obrobisa Coleman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Charles Osukumi.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, Minority in Parliament says injection of funds into abandoned projects by government has contributed to the economic hardships facing the country.
You give more than 10 to 20 million US dollars to individuals without any work done. How would the economy survive?
Also coming up, government moves in to fix a culvert that caved in on a section of the Kumasi-Yeji Highway in the Ashanti region.
We have made a strong promise on behalf of government to fix that bus culvert, within the shortest possible time.
Still ahead, Auditor General recovers over 2 billion cedis out of a total of more than 4.7 billion Ghana cedis of disallowed expenditure for the period between 2017 and 2020.
I think that he has done a good job because you see, it's not even the matter of how much he has recovered, but the fact that he has been able to recover money. These things are not happening in the past. The audit reports usually just came out and monies are not recovered.
And later, the Ghana Commission for UNESCO reiterates calls for the scrapping of taxes on sanitary pads.
It should be a deliberate commitment by government to actually seek to remove the taxes that makes the prices of these sanitary pads very, very expensive. Some of them cannot just afford it.
The news is live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, you are listening to us on Adrimpa 100.7 FM in Takwa and Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Bono region, you are listening to us on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu and VOV Radio on 95.7 FM in Hohoi. In the northern region, we're on Radio Bimbala 91.9 FM. In the Upper East, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. In the Upper West, we're on Tungsong 97.3 FM in Wa. The news is also live on across the globe on citynewsroom.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your time this afternoon. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. The Minority in Parliament says the continuous injection of funds into abandoned projects is contributing to the economic challenges confronting the country. The group says despite the allocation of about $20 million mobilizing fund to contractors of the government's Agenda 111 project, work is yet to commence on most of the health facilities. During a visit to the proposed site for the construction of a hospital for the Adaisa community in the Upper West, Achem district of the Eastern region, the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Akando, says the disbursed funds for the facilities could have helped shore up the country's forex reserve.
In fact, what you don't even know and what you have not been told is that there are contractors who have been given money, yet documentations have not even been completed. And we'll get there. Documentations for the project, for the bidding, has not even been completed, yet we have committed this state's money to such contractors. And I'll show you their own documents. I will let you read and take pictures of them, videos of them, that there are contractors who have started work, they have given them money, yet documentations, which is the first thing that must be completed before a PESWA is paid to any contractor, has not been completed. And we are here justifying this? We cannot justify this. We cannot. The health of the people in the country is paramount. And all these things, to add insult to injury, this has also swallowed some part of the COVID-19. And so we need to show seriousness. If you treat things this way, why wouldn't the economy run down? You give more than, 10 to 20 million US dollars to individuals without any work done. How would the economy survive? At least if this money were kept at the Bank of Ghana, at least we would have said we have some kind of reserves or some money there. This money has been pumped out. Only God knows where these monies have gone. There are people who are of the contention that these monies have been paid to contractors, and the same MPP gurus have gone back to take the money anyway. And so the contractors have no money to go to site. If indeed it is not true, they should come back to site. Because we believe that the contractors have been giving the money, and behind the doors, they've been taking the money away from them.
Kwabena Minta Akando is the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. We are joined over the phone lines by our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okan, who has been following the minority to tell us more. Good afternoon, Ayikwe.
Good afternoon, Wilma.
Now, what sites have you been to and what can you report?
Okay, so Wilma, as we all know, the Agenda 111 project forms part of plans by the government to actually improve the health sector. And with this, the government assured that about 101 outstanding districts within the country are going to benefit from a health facility. And then also 10 of these are going to be specialized hospitals in the new regions that have been created. But since the president cut short for one of these projects actually in the Ashanti region, he gave the assurance that these projects were going to be completed within 18 months. But over the period, we've heard President Akufo-Addo precisely telling us that he's going to ensure that these projects are completed before the end of his tenure. So the minority on the Health Committee of Parliament actually started visiting some of these project sites yesterday. And yesterday we visited one at Kwabnakwa in the Obuasi East Municipality and also Akrofrom. And from what we gathered, work on these projects have not started yet. And the minority complained that in as much as these contractors have been given mobilization funds of about $1 million, most of them are yet to start work on these projects. What we noticed were some excavations that had been done, but work actually yet to commence on them. And the minority actually expressed concern about this particular development. Precisely the ranking member on the Health Committee, Kwabena Minta, with his team, were very much worried about this particular development. They said government is not showing any commitment to this effect. Today, the team moved to the Eastern region, so precisely in the Upper West Achim district of the Eastern region, to also inspect one of the projects. And from what we gathered, only excavation that had been done with the heavy-duty equipment that is supposed to embark on the excavation also grounded. We noticed that most of the portions of the land had actually been occupied by wheat. So this has been it for the projects that the government assured that they are going to be completed in 18 months. And the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, Kwabena Minta Akando, indicated that if this is how funds are going to be injected into abandoned projects, of course, it would, run down the economy. And if these funds that have been disbursed were actually reserved with the central bank, we could have had our forex reserve actually shored up, saving us some bit of relief from the economic challenges that we are all facing. So the team is moving to another site to inspect some other projects under the Agenda 111.
Well, thank you very much for that update. That was our parliamentary correspondent, Ni Ayikwe Okan.
Now, the Roads and Highways Ministry has moved to fix a culvert that has caved in along the Asante Mampong section on the main Kumasi-Yeji highway in the Ashanti region. The section of the road has become impassable and has led to the death of 3 persons in separate accidents. A recent Citi News report highlighted the plight of motorists on the busy stretch who spoke about the dangers of using the road and called for urgent intervention. The Roads and Highways Minister, Kwesi Amoakwata, visited the stretch with some engineers from the ministry and assured that government was taking immediate steps to fix the problem.
We visited the bridge that has broken down, which has separated the people of Yeji from the rest of the region. We had the opportunity to meet the Dasibre Osebosu of Mampong, and the way he received us, with the rest of his chiefs. And we have made a strong promise on behalf of government, on behalf of the president, to fix that bus culvert, within the shortest possible time. In fact, as quickly as practicable, so that the road from Yeji through Mampong to Kumasi will be linked up once more.
You heard Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amoakwata, who also led officials to inspect ongoing roadworks in the Kwabre East Municipality and the Bosomtwe District. Work on the Lake Road is expected to be completed by the end of this year. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah is hopeful the completion of the project will help boost tourism in the area.
See, the government is interested through the Ministry of Roads and Highway in this particular project because the interest the government has in tourism as a means of mobilizing foreign exchange. When this project is completed, then we can develop Lake Bosomtwe as a tourism center. We can have Lake Bosomtwe as an integrated international ecotourism center, which will bring a lot of tourists to this area or to this region. So it's very significant, not only to Ashanti region, but to the country at large. We are very grateful to the Minister of Roads and Highways and the President and the government as a whole. This road has never seen such a massive improvement since independence. I think the first one was done by the late Dr. Busia, who constructed the first bitumen surface road up to the lake. And I thank God that it's the same UP or MPP government that has come to give us a massive improvement on the road. I hope that maximum in the next 1 year, this issue will be a thing of the past.
That was the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah.
Now to some other stories. The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, says it has fully resolved challenges encountered last week with its prepaid vending systems. Residents of Lower Manya and Yellow Krobo municipalities of the Eastern region and some part of the Greater Accra region last week lamented their inability to purchase power due to a system breakdown. Speaking to Citi News, Public Relations Officer of the ECG in the Tama region, Sechua Mensah, says the customers can now purchase prepaid credits without any hindrance.
We have an issue with our MMS system. One of the prepaid systems we use. We have different types of prepaid systems. So the MMS is one of them. And we have customers in the Kobo area in other parts of Accra, like Dodowa, Roman Ridge, Makola, and Ablekuma, who are using this MMS. But admittedly, our customers in the Kobo area, like the Kobo area has the most dominant number of customers on this particular system. So yes, we had a challenge with the system, and it was on and off, but for the past days, it's been very, very stable. We're able to vend, we're able to sell. Our offices do not have any queues. We have normal work atmosphere in all our offices in the Kobo area. So yes, it's been resolved.
That was the Public Relations Officer of the ECG in the Tama region, Sechua Mensah. Now, the Auditor General says it has recovered an amount of more than 2.2 billion cedis out of a total of more than 4.7 billion cedis of disallowed expenditure for the period between 2017 and 2020. The service also reports that it has saved the country more than 147 million cedis from payroll certifications from 2018 to September 2022. This was contained in a special report by the Auditor General detailing recoveries made from disallowed expenditure contained in the Auditor General's report from 2017 to 2020. There's more in the following News Desk report.
The Auditor General's report into financial activities of various government agencies becomes a topical issue every year because of the staggering revelations of financial malfeasance that are contained in them. There is a general appreciation of the Auditor General's work in uncovering financial irregularities, but the criticism has been that the Auditor General does little to recover some of these expenditure. In 2017, the Supreme Court ordered the Auditor General to surcharge anyone it found to misappropriate state funds in relation to a suit brought to the court by pressure group Occupy Ghana. In September last year, the Coalition for Democratic Accountability and Inclusive Governance led protesters to mount pressure on the Auditor General to apply his surcharge powers to retrieve over 17 billion cedis lost to financial irregularities in the 2021 financial year. According to these observers, if the Auditor General applied his surcharge powers effectively, Ghana wouldn't have to seek financial help from the IMF as it is presently doing. During receipt of the petition presented by the coalition, the Auditor General's office promised to work to retrieve misapplied monies uncovered in these reports. In a special report released by the Auditor General, it has announced a recovery of more than 2 billion cedis of disallowed expenditure out of about 4 billion cedis between 2017 and 2020. These recoveries range from cash irregularities, payroll irregularities, amongst others. Tax irregularities of more than 1 billion cedis form a chunk of the recoveries, representing 74% of the total recoveries from 2017 to 2020. To track all audit recoveries in real time, the Auditor General opened the Auditor General's Recoveries account at the Bank of Ghana in June 2022, and according to the report, as of 30th September 2022, more than 1 million cedis had been recovered into the account. Anti-corruption campaigner Vitus Azim has been speaking to Citi News about the report.
I think that he has done a good job because you see, it's not even the matter of how much he has recovered, but the fact that he has been able to recover money. Because these things were not happening in the past. The audit reports usually just came out and monies are not recovered because the Auditor General at the time felt that they didn't have the power to use this allowance and surcharge powers. So now that he's able to use it, if he's able to recover these monies, I think that he should be commended for that. But of course, we know that he has constraints because if he tries to recover, if he disallows and they fail to pay back, the next step is to go to court, to refer the matter to the Attorney General, to go to court. And if he refers the matter to the Attorney General doesn't find anything to go, then it's a problem. But he's also mentioned that they sent 14 cases of disallowance to the court, and they lost all of them because they did not have enough evidence, or the evidence they had was not admissible in court. So it means that his lawyers also need to set up and build better cases for prosecution.
He also urges a complete independence of the Auditor General from political influence to enable the office to discharge its duties without fear or favor.
Two things. One is to amend the law that set up the office of the Auditor General and give him prosecutorial powers so that he can go to court on some of these things. But the second thing is that he needs to be well equipped to be able to go to court. So you also need to equip him to get, like I said, experienced, qualified lawyers in adequate numbers, like even spread out in the regions so that prosecutions can take place and they can get successful convictions. But of course, in Ghana, we know, especially with regards to appointments, sometimes you cannot rule out looking back to your appointed authorities and trying to avoid what you may do that will offend your appointed authority. But sometimes even the appointed authority may just try to interfere directly with your work. So the other thing is for government to take off its hands from the work of the Auditor General and allow the office to do its work without any interference, without any intimidation.
That report was filed by Citi News' Charles Owusukumi. This is still the Citi Prime News, live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Morton Loop in Adabaka, Accra. Now, some stories we've been bringing you. The minority in Parliament says injection of funds into abandoned projects by government has contributed to the economic hardships facing the country. Also, we had government moving in to fix the culverts that caved in on a section of the Kumasi-Yeji Highway in the Ashanti region. And also, Auditor General recovers over 2 billion cedis out of a total of more than 4.7 billion cedis of a disallowed expenditure for the period between 2017 and 2020. And still ahead in the bulletin, Ghana Commission for UNESCO reiterates calls for the scrapping of taxes on sanitary pads. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Fine, anyone can become the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, anyone. Whether market woman, student, professional, even fisherman or cobbler. YugoFlip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand the chance of winning a house, cash, or other prizes, such as savings towards the house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yugoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Contact us on 0555222490. YugoFlip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Counting a population of over 1.4 billion people, a vast wealth of natural resources, and brilliant minds, welcome to Africa, where our collective prosperity is very much achievable. This is why the Africa Prosperity Network, under the auspices of the President of the Republic of Ghana and the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, presents the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, dubbed the COAL Summit. From the 26th to the 28th of January 2023, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will host some of his colleagues, heads of state, over 500 business leaders and social sector leaders on the continent and in the diaspora for the Africa Prosperity Dialogues. Themed AFCFTA from ambition to action, delivering prosperity through continental trade. Register at www.africaprosperitynetwork.com.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the program's manager at the Center for Democratic Development, Paul Abrampa-Mensah, is urging the leadership of the National Democratic Congress to address issues raised by some minority members of parliament. The party yesterday announced the reshuffling of the minority leadership. Following the announcement, the MPs have lamented that the party did not consult the caucus before making the decision and subsequent announcement. To get more reactions to the development, the program's manager at the Center for Democratic Development, Paul Abrampa-Mensah, joins me on the phone lines to get more. Good afternoon, sir. Many thanks for joining us. Now,
good afternoon.
First of all, what do you make of the reshuffling announced by the NDC?
Well, on the border governance structure, we're calling for Nana Akufo-Addo to do a reshuffle. So if NDC does a reshuffle at Parliament, I think it's in line with the call from Ghanaians. And let me also say that there is no established protocol or law for appointing and reshuffling leadership at Parliament, apart from the operational modalities that the political party in question will select and appoint its leadership after every election. So for me, doing that reshuffle is in line with the practice that has been going on over the years across the parties. NDC does that, the MPP does that. My worries are two. One, lack of consultation ahead of the reshuffling, and two, the ethnic sentiments that have been read into the whole thing, which I think is dangerous for development of democracy in every country. So these are the two issues that should be tackled by the party so as not to let this degenerate into sectional sentiments within the party.
Now, others have raised the issue with having a regional representation as the party aims to reclaim power in 2024. Does this represent a balanced front, and what meaning do you reckon people would have?
So the two of the leaders who have been reshuffled were all of the northern background. We didn't have Ashanti there, so people did not complain of that. Yes, it's important, and as the Constitution says, that it is the need for regional and minority balance in any appointment or decisions that we take. But we also have to be very cautious that we read ethnicity or ethnic sentiments in any decision that we take in the country. Look, just watch the television yesterday as to what happened at Tamale. And the meanings the supporters of the NDC were reading into the reshuffle. Their sentiments were not for the fact that the NDC has replaced competent people as part of the leadership of their party in Parliament. But their sentiments were being read into the fact that they are men from the Gabon tradition have been sacked. And some of them even threatened not to receive or attack the leadership of NDC when they enter Tamale. So these are some of the things that I was talking about. So if we don't handle it carefully, it's not going to be an issue of reshuffling people in parliament, the leadership in parliament, as the meaning that have been. We can discuss the reasons behind the reshuffle, as I see in Katia read. But my worry is the ethnicization of the issues at this time and the sentiments expressed by the people of Tamale. So if Ashantis, Evis, and other traditional strongholds of the NDC also decide to look into where our people, where our men in the leadership of parliament, how are we going to also discuss that? So we should always base our discussions on the capacity of people who have been appointed to lead certain institutions, to serve as certain leaders in certain institutions, not within necessarily the background, what ethnic group they are coming from, which of course is spoken against in the Constitution. So let's check that sentiment carefully. And as I said in my intro, there's a need for the NDC to check that itself and also to always build its decisions on consultations and consensus building. I think that will create more understanding and reduce some of the agitations that come upon whenever decisions are taken.
And finally, before we let you go now, comparing the quality of the new leadership to that of the old, do you think would have any effect on the NDC?
My sister, some of the reasons that are given, I see it as more of a tax for communicators, not leadership for parliament. Leadership for parliament or a leader of any institutions would prepare a speech or defend anything in parliament based on discussion with people. No one person can have command of all the sectors of the economy in Ghana. Definitely, they have other members who serve on committees, who prepare some notes and feed into the speaker's speech. So it doesn't matter whether the speaker, the leader is an economist, is an agriculturist, is an educationist. It doesn't matter. It's about experience and competency to lead the caucus whilst in parliament. Yes, sir. So comparing whether those who have come are better than those who are not there, to me, is non-starter. It's about the unity, about the coordination, and about discussions among themselves before certain decisions are taken, and the leader will make it at the floor of parliament.
Now, any recommendations on how the party can, mend these factions that seem to be coming up?
Well, the initial two recommendations that are made. One, we need to be very cautious in discussions and approach, and also try to deal with any sentiments that will come from ethnic background. And two, we need to build our decisions on consensus and consultations.
Well, thank you very much for that. That was the programs manager at the Center for Democratic Development, Paul Abrampa Mensah. Now we'll go to the northern region to speak to our correspondent, Dinah Ingwan, where the Tamale North MP, where Haruna Idrisu resides. Some of the NDC people have massed up at the office and want to speak to her on that. Hello, good afternoon, Dinah. Hello, Dinah.
Yeah.
Yes. So quickly, tell us what's happening there.
Okay, so this morning, a coalition of NDC youth groups in Tamale organized a press conference regarding the reshuffle by the NDC national executive in Parliament. So they are disappointed, according to them, they are disappointed by the actions of the national executive because it is rigid and it is illegal to change the party's leadership in such a manner that is without even informing the parties involved. And that at this moment is crucial because their fight is to win back the seat. And this decision by the national executive has the tendency of dividing the party. And they are also accusing the national command of wanting to say that they said it's to defend his Sorry, I'm going to read exactly what they said. That the first 15 and liquid decision states that they did this on the basis of regional balance. That was based on the interview from the national summary that this party was due to, was for regional balance. They said that if you may ask, why was Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim from Bandar it's because he's from the same region with Mr. Ethiopia and his store. So they are choosing this Elisa saving Ethiopia of saving his savings in the party, and that the removal of Haruna is used to is like he's against the northern region and Dagon specifically, as you said, and they are demanding that to reverse the decision, and he says Haruna is into as the minority in the third party, and they want, I'm trying to quote persons of their statements here. So they also want to bring to the attention of the former president that his people supported to be his loyalty are rather his saboteur and enemies so far as we are concerned. So therefore we call on all well-meaning people and stakeholders in the great NDC as a matter of urgency to intervene and overturn this unpopular wicked and self-seeking decision that may deny the NDC of victory time 2024. So this is a group in Tamale South constituency, and this has no relation to what the constituency someone said yesterday, giving a 24-hour ultimatum to the national executive to reverse the decision. So we spoke to him this afternoon, and he said we are still waiting for communication, and that will inform them on the way forward. But then he came out later asking to issue this statement and calling on all well-meaning members of the party to intervene for them decisions to avoid any division in the party.
Well, thank you very much for that update. That was Dinah Ingwan, our Northern Regional Correspondent. Speaking from the Tamale South constituency where Haruna Ijisu is MP.
Now, the Ghana Commission for UNESCO has expressed worry over taxes slapped on sanitary pads. According to the commission, the high cost of sanitary pads is accounting for low school turnout by female students. Currently, prices of sanitary pads range between 10 cedis to 50 cedis, which many schoolgirls are unable to afford. According to reports, some girls fail to attend classes, while others resort to their male counterparts for support due to parental neglect. Marking International Education Day under the theme to invest in people, prioritize education, the commission entreated government to scrap the taxes. The principal program officer, Moses Geme, spoke to Citi News.
Look at the ratio of boys that are in the senior high school. It is equal to the ratio of girls that are in the senior high school. And of course, the issue of the sanitary pad is a problem. There have been countless researches that actually show that many of the girls, in fact, around junior high school, from the upper primary to the junior high school to senior high school, many of them shun classrooms simply because they cannot really afford a sanitary pad. So it should be a deliberate commitment by government to actually seek to remove the taxes that makes the prices of these sanitary pads very, very expensive for our young girls out there, because truth be told, some of them cannot just afford it. And once they realize that they are in that cycle, they wouldn't go to school, and these, of course, are affecting them. So the only call or appeal we can make as the Ghana Commission for UNESCO is that government should at least remove the taxes that are on these sanitary pads so that our little ones can purchase them and actually go to school.
That was the principal program officer at the Ghana Commission for UNESCO, Moses Geme.
Meanwhile, some parents have expressed worry at the continuous hikes in the cost of sanitary towels. For some, they may be forced to seek other alternatives for their wards as they are unable to keep up with the increase in prices. Citi News' Rachel Engman engaged some stakeholders and had come through with this report read by Citi News' Beverly London.
Period poverty is a pressing subject among females. It refers to the lack of access to sanitary products due to financial constraints. Menstruation over the years has caused girls to be stigmatized and sometimes miss school. A study by UNESCO found that 1 in 10 girls in sub-Saharan Africa missed school while in their period. The situation has consequently been affecting girl-child education. The problem has been compounded as a result of recent hikes in prices of sanitary pads, which have made it difficult for some women to afford. A pack of sanitary pad, which used to be sold at 5 Ghana cedis, is now selling at 15 Ghana cedis or more. When Citi News hit the street to get the views of some teenagers and parents, they lamented the price hike, which may force them to find other alternatives.
How old are you?
I'm 17 years.
So you use sanitary pads?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you bought one?
Just last week.
Last week. And how much was it?
It was 12 cedis.
12 cedis. But previously, how much was it?
It was 8 cedis.
8 cedis?
Yes.
Do you buy it yourself?
No, my mom bought it for me.
What do you think about the increase in the price of the pad? You said it used to be 8 cedis, but then the last time you went to the market, it's 12 cedis. Okay, so what do you think about the increase?
The sanitary pad is too expensive. I think they should decrease it because we need it. It's important to us, and if it is increased like that, we cannot buy it, and we need it too. So I think they should decrease the price.
Last time you bought one?
Last month.
How much was it?
Soft care was 10 cedis, and I asked Yaz. Yaz said it's 12 cedis. And now today I come to buy a pad. The seller said that Yaz is 16. And pad, soft care is 12 cedis. I always use always. They said always the big size is 36. And the small size, this one is 18 cedis. Wow. I was surprised. Wow. Now I can't buy a pad again.
But do you buy it yourself? As in, how do you, is it your parents that give you money to buy, or you buy it yourself?
Oh, my parents.
Okay. Your parents give you money to buy?
Sure.
Now they say they can't afford? So what do you think, what is your take on the increase? What do you think can be done?
It's very bad. We are begging the government to do something about it.
The cost of sanitary pads have increased. When was the last time you bought some?
Oh, about a month ago.
Okay. How much was it then?
15 and 11 cedis.
How much was it previously?
7 and 8.
7 and 8 cedis?
Yes.
Do you have children, actually?
Yeah, I have children and grandchildren. So I normally buy it for my grandchildren.
Okay. Are you able to afford it monthly?
Oh, it's too hard, dear. It's too hard. It's hard. In fact, it's hard. But, well, we are praying that things will be all right.
The sanitary pads have various types. We have the cheaper one and the other types. So it depends the one that you want, and it depends the price.
Okay. How much was it then, and then how much is it now?
The one that I was buying was 6 cedis 50 pesos, but from 6 cedis 50 pesos go to 8 cedis, and I've heard it that is 15 cedis, but hers hasn't finished yet, so I'm now to go to the market and see the actual price, whether it's 15 cedis or 10 cedis or 12 cedis.
Would you be able to afford it? Especially, say, since you said you've been buying in bulk, would you be able to afford it?
Yes, of course. Because you need to plan. You have to be on your budget. Because nowadays things are going up. So you have to prepare. If you are buying maybe, for instance, 5 or 6, then you have to buy maybe 3, because of the price increase, because you don't have any choice that you won't buy the sanitary pad for your daughter.
A vendor, Hamdia Mohammed, explained that the rapid increase in the price of sanitary pads is as a result of the depreciation of the cedi. She added that patronage has been low in recent times.
I sell sanitary pads in wholesale prices. Initially, when we started, I think it was 194 cedis for a box, but now it's 319 cedis for a box. And some are also 329 cedis for a box. It differs. Some people sell it 15 cedis, others also sell it 17 cedis for one. It's due to the dollar rate and everything, so that's the reason why the prices keep on increasing. The patronage is really low, not as when we started selling. It's really low now. If something can be done about the dollar rate and the cedi depreciation, I think it's going to really help.
The Chief Commissioner of the Ghana Girl Guides Association, Mrs. Zakia Abdul Wahab, indicated that her outfit has sent a petition to government advocating for the scrapping of taxes on the product. According to her, the removal of the taxes will help reduce the prices. She further urged stakeholders to support her efforts to supply sanitary pads to deprived teenagers.
About 85% of girls and young women in the Upper West region actually engage in transactional sex just to be able to afford sanitary pads for their cycles. And to hear something like this obviously is worrying. And so what can we do as an association? Since 2018, we have been doing this engagement with schools, with communities, but we realized that there's a need to move, a step further. There's a need to call for change. There's a need to call for some action. And this required us to send out online petitions, even during the COVID period, send out letters to prominent women in the society to say, let us all come on board. This is an issue that affects everybody, all girls in the community, all girls in Ghana. So let's all come on board and take a step and see how best, we can address this issue. All we are calling for is a removal of the tax. Currently, if we are adding it up, well, not until the last budget reading that we had was about 39%. Now, I'm sure it's well over 40%. And this, for us, is just too much for the average girl child to be able to afford and bleed decently or take care of herself during her menstrual cycle.
That report was filed by Citi News' Rachel Eggman and read by Citi News' Beverly London. This is still the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Still to come, one of the accused persons being tried for allegedly causing mayhem at the NDC Youth Elections changes plea. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Another year is upon us, and we are poised to kickstart this new revolution with the utmost zeal. Citi TV and Citi FM present to you another rewarding season of the Effective Living series. This year, the Effective Living series will be riding on the back of the theme 2023 Starter Pack, Building Back Better. Every week in the month of January, our team of renowned experts, alongside our exceptional host Bernard Avlem, will delve into various thematic areas that have been carefully selected to cater to your holistic well-being in the coming year. Week 1 will focus on the importance of physical preparation for 2023. After that, we will take a look at emotional and mental health imperatives for 2023 in our second weekly series. Then, we will proceed to the third weekly series with emphasis on professional priorities for 2023. In our fourth and final week, we will dig into the strategic conversation on building financial foundations for 2023. The Effective Living series will be live
live on the Citi Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM at 9 a.m. and on Breakfast Daily on Citi TV at 9:30 a.m. from Monday through till Thursday. So join us and let's get ready to be equipped with practical information for building back better in 2023. The Effective Living Series is sponsored by Enterprise Insurance and Hallmark Freights and Logistics Ghana Limited.
Can I have my tom-tom?
Your passion, you have dreamt of it, planned for it, worked for it, wept for it, fought for it, and lived for it. At a critical now or never moment, you might lose focus from it. That's when you pop your tom-tom candy. Focus and breathe. Just breathe. You've got this. You have so much to breathe for. Breathe for it with TomTom. This advert is FDA approved.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the Accra Circuit Court 9 has ruled for one of the accused persons in the trial of the alleged NDC vigilante boys to change his plea from guilty to not guilty. The third accused person, Dauda Mohammed Nazir, pleaded guilty to the count of prohibition of vigilante groups and activities contrary to Section 3(3) of the Vigilante and Other Offences Act. But lawyers of the accused in court today prayed the court to allow for the plea of the guilty to be changed, as their client did not understand the count and was not provided with a certified court interpreter. Prosecution led by Superintendent Sylvester Asare, however, opposed the prayer, insisting the court did not have jurisdiction to change the plea as a conviction has been entered. The judge ruled that since the matter ends at sentencing and not at conviction, he is clothed with jurisdiction to make the accused change his plea. He thus directed for the plea of the accused to be retaken.
Now, the National Health Insurance Authority says calls for a review of the tariffs for services and medicines by the Private Health Facilities Regulatory Association will be considered and deliberated upon by management of the National Health Insurance Authority. The Private Health Facilities Regulatory Association say the depreciation of the cedi coupled with economic challenges has caused the prices of drugs and non-drugs to skyrocket, which is making it difficult to run their facilities despite the 30% increase in tariffs in July 2022. The NHIA has, however, called on the Private Health Facilities Association to officially channel their concerns.
We'll go back to the NDC story and speak to our Ashanti Regional Correspondent, Fatih Aminu Ibrahim, who is at Asawase constituency, to give us details. Good afternoon, Fatih. Fatih, good afternoon.
Yeah, hello, good afternoon.
Yes, quickly give us a picture of what's happening in Asawase this afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much. As it stands now, I'm currently around the office of the Member of Parliament for Asawase constituency, Honorable Munchaka Mohammed Mubarak. And currently, most of the constituents, party members are here, and they are really not happy about what is happening. And I have the PR for Munchaka Mubarak, who tells me that for their members want the leadership of the party to reverse the decision that it has taken, because they are really not happy with what the stance of the party at the moment. Let's speak to Abdul Majid Musa, who is the PR for Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak. Hello, Abdul Majid. Welcome to Citi Prime. Can you tell us what's your stance?
Our stance is very simple: for the party to reverse this decision.
What do you make of the entire decision of the party?
The entire decision, in a nutshell, is a sham. The entire decision is miscalculated and badly rehearsed. I say that because people who have left this party this far in Parliament and have achieved a lot of successes, it takes a very good negotiation to at least replace them, if any, if need be. Okay. So why not the process taking place and all of a sudden we ambush? So this is an ambush tactic that is ill rehearsed, as I said, to just cause mischief, which if not taken, care is not taken, we're likely to have more and bigger problems ahead of us.
So what do you want the first leadership to do about it?
To reverse it with immediate effect. And then I wish the Council of Elders comes in here. You know, we are not alone in Ghana politics. We observe our neighbors, the MPP, and what they do, and the power of the Council of Elders when it comes to issues of this nature. The Council of Elders are very active, smart, and very strategic in some of these issues. Okay, so they should come in with immediate effect, and then let the executive NEC do the needful. So because we observe from the information that we have gathered so far indicates that the right negotiations have been taken. As of last week, we were busy here distributing items and helping the needy. Yeah. Only to the media was trying to know as to whether such a thing is taking place, negotiation. We didn't know. Just all of a sudden we are taken by surprise. Why? Why this? And why this time? Nobody is kind of the party, we know. But this is unnecessary. It's very, very unnecessary. And it was ill-rehearsed. And to cause mayhem.
What will be your next line of action if the decision is not repaired?
There are a series of actions we are contemplating. But even not we in the office here, as I'm saying, our general membership, our sympathizers within the zonal community. It's not only here. Look, sometimes we have to put off our phones because people are calling us from all over the country, from different zonal communities, and the Muslims, and then from all over the country. I can't even mention whether it's Accra, telling us and asking us, why are we doing this? I said, they are doing that to us, not what the party, why is the party not considering? Why is Ashanti even not represented in the leadership if we are talking about regional balance? They are not a question they're asking. So sometimes it's difficult even controlling the temperament of our this. Right now as we talk, we are in office, go down there outside and see what is going on and the number of people who are gathering. So we don't know how to control such actions. So if you would calculate your issues well and ahead, you can do rightful negotiation. We didn't have reached this far. You see, people are not even thinking, do we go here, do we go there? No, we can't just control it. So please, the party should do the needful. The Council of Elders should wake up to this.
But what do you think how do you think it will affect Aswati constituency and even Ashanti region in general?
It's likely to reduce our votes. As I have been saying, today I couldn't rest since morning until now, and even continuously, that if care is not taken, most of our people are telling us they will not even vote for us. Okay, they will not even come and vote. You see, so if they say out, is against us, it will give the MPP the mileage to their league be ahead of us, and it will indirectly increase the chances if our people stay out. Okay, so these are the people who are holding us together. These two clauses within the party, and they have become an institution. I'm not by this saying they are greater than the party, but at least when such people are to be reshuffled or replaced, there are so many ways of doing it. It's even not a good HR practice. Okay, just all of a sudden you take somebody out and promote his oligo junior and whip him. How can these people be whipped so easily? Even if I just suffer alone, we take MPP to ransom. How about these two people? We don't want to go into the realm of speculation, but there's lots of things could happen, which we will have to try to avoid.
Okay, so that was the PR for Honorable Muntaka Mohammed Mubarak, the Member of Parliament for Ashanti constituency. And so what is their stance on the decision of the NDC? And in fact, around the office of the Member of Parliament, a number of the constituents have gathered here. Most of them are screaming, no Muntaka, no NDC, no Muntaka, we are not voting. So they are clearly not happy with the decision of the leadership of the Parliament.
Thank you very much for that update. That was Ashanti Regional Correspondent Fatty Aminu. Ibrahim. We'll move away from that. Now, last Wednesday, we brought to you a story where nurses at the Tatali Sanguli District Hospital in the northern region threatened to withdraw their services on Monday, January 23, if management does not urgently address issues of lack of basic resources needed to work. The nurses at the facility indicated that the hospital is in a very deplorable state, a situation that is negatively impacting health delivery and their individual performances. According to them, basic resources like gloves, syringes, drugs, and consumables are in short supply. Now, what is the current situation in the hospital following the reportage? Let's speak to the chairman of the Unit Heads Committee of the hospital, Mohammed Kamaldeen Abubakar. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Now, there was a threat to withdraw all services due to the dire situation. Has this threat been carried out?
Okay, I think over the weekend, I had back and forth with the medical soup of the hospital. And even before that, they sent us a letter that indeed there will be a staff thereby organized so that they will meet with us and we air out the issues that we brought before them. So today, before the staff thereby, we had a meeting with management. And I think from the look of things, the main issue has to do with money and health insurance. There's a problem with the health insurance credential renewal. I think we've just been told about this issue today. Yes, so because of that, claims are, when they work their claims, the money is not forthcoming to run the facility. Yes. So currently, there's a staff debate going on, but I just give an excuse to come and engage you to also tell you about what is going on now.
Okay. Now, was there a resolution between management and staff?
No, like I said, until after we are done with the staff debate. When we are done with it, then we will sit among ourselves and deliberate as unit heads to see the way forward. But from the short meeting we had with management before the staff debate, the issue was that they are working very hard to make sure that we have some consumables, at least, to sustain the hospital for a while they are working on the health insurance issue. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for that. That was the chairman of the Unit Heads Committee at the Tatali Sanguli District Hospital, Mohammed Kamaldeen Abubakar.
Now, Senior Research Fellow with the Center for Climate Change and Sustainability Studies at the University of Ghana, Dr. Yao Ajiman Boafu, has warned that the country may import water if it does not improve its vegetative cover and protect water bodies from pollution. The Ghana Water Company Limited, in a recent statement, announced that it will begin rationing water in some parts of the country due to the onset of the dry season, which has led to the depletion of raw water sources. Speaking to Citi News, Dr. Yawajiman Boafu said temperatures in Ghana have been rising lately and causing droughts and drying up of water bodies.
At the early stages, you need to have a lot of awareness and campaigns to get people to understand that these are more than just trees. They are not just trees. They are here to save our life and protect us, including protecting us from, drying up of our water bodies, which obviously is leading to water scarcity. And we know clearly that with the water scarcity issues coming up, coupled with, pollution of our water bodies from galamsey, it's going to create huge, problems for us at the household and also even at the industrial level. We may end up probably importing water if we don't, plan very well. So I think it's an important effort, but it needs to be done properly with the involvement of all stakeholders.
That was a Senior Research Fellow at the Center for Climate Studies at the University of Ghana, Dr. Yao Ajiman Boafu.
Now, Citi News understands that the Bono East Regional Minister Kwesi Edujan is expected to visit the Atigagome to commiserate with families of the pupils who died yesterday on the Volta Lake. 8 pupils from the Atigagome community in the Sine East district lost their lives when a boat they were traveling on to school capsized. The 8 were among 20 pupils who were traveling from Atigagome to Wayokope when the incident occurred midway into the journey. And that's all time with the last for on the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios at Adaraka in Accra. For more news, you can log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obubisa-Coleman, and this afternoon I was here with
Charles Osukumi.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the City Business News. Many thanks for your